من حبك، وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك. هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضي من ربيت، أو تبعد من أدنيت، أو تشرد من آويت، أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمت. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار وجوه خرت لعظمتك ساجدا، وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقا، وبشكرك مادحا، وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققا، وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة، وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة، وأشارت باستغفارك مذهنا. ما هكذا الظن بك ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم. يا ربي وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه قليل مكثوه يسير بقاه كثير مدته، فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي فكيف لي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين. يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، ولما منها ضج وأبقي لعليم العذاب وشدتي، أم لطول البلاء ومدتي، فلئن سيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فحبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي. صبرت على عذابك فكيف أصبر على فراقك، وحبني صبرت على حر نارك فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك. أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك، فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضيجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج العاملين، ولأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولأبقين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولأنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية أعمال العارفين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين. أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفتي، وذاك تعمى بها بمعصيته وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرتي، وهو يضج إليك ضجيج معمل لرحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف تهرمه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانا أم كيف يشتمل عليها زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقه أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا ربه أم كيف ترجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتتركه فيها هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك ولا مشبه لما عملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك فباليقين أفتوا لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملاها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين وأن تجل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتطولت بالإنعام متقرما أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون إلهي وسيدي فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبت وكل قبيح أسررت وكل جهل عملته كتمته أو أعلنته وأخفيت أو أظهرت وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جواره وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم وبرحمتك أكفيت وبفضلك سترت وأن توفي الحظ من كل خير أنزلت أو إحسان فضلت أو بر تنشره أو رزق تبسطه أو ذنب تغفره أو خطأ تستره يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي يا من بيدي ناصيتي يا عليما بضري ومسكنتي يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاني من الليل والنهار بذكرك مأمورا وبخدمتك موصولا وأعمالي عندك مقبولا حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب قوي على خدمتك جواره واشدد على العزيمة جوانه وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين وأسرع إليك في المبادرين واشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين وخافة مخافة الموقنين واجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادني فرده ومن قادني فقد واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نسيبا عندك وأقربهم منزلة منك وأخسهم زلفة لديك فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك. وجد لي بجودك واعطف علي بمجدك واحفظني برحمتك واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا وقلبي بحبك متيما ومن علي بحسن إجابتك واقلني عثرتي واغفر ذلتي فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك وأمرتهم بدعائك وضمنت لهم الإجابة. فإليك يا ربي نسبت وجهي وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي وبلغني منايا ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء وسلاحه البقاء. يا سابغ النعم يا دافع النقم يا نور المستوحشين في الظلم يا عالما لا يعلم صل على محمد وآله وافعل بي ما أنت أهله وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآله.
Right, can we start with the salawat, please? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're going to start with Surah Yasin today, and hopefully we will finish. But before I go into Surah Yasin, we don't have classes for 2 weeks. Next week is Wafat, and although Yasmin tells me she would have given me that week, I'm going for Umrah, inshallah. The week after is Wiladat, and she won't let me do classes because she says you're going to come dressed up, and I don't know. She's got a problem with that. Okay, so no classes for 2 weeks. So then we'll see you after 2 weeks, inshallah. Okay, I'm not going to go over all those because we're not doing them in a row as such. But today we're going to look at Surah Yasin, and it's a surah, inshallah, that you know really, really well. So let's look at some of the benefits, just so that you can write it down. It is known as Qalbul Quran, as the heart of Quran, right? 83 ayat, you all know that. Benefits, most people recite it when somebody dies. It's a surah of hajat, and when we come to the ayah about more for the living than for the dead, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. If somebody is ill, recite it. If you listen to Surah Yasin, 20 Hajj. There is so much about Surah Yasin, but what strikes me most is the ability for hajat. So 2 rakats namaz, recite it as you finish your salah, recite Surah Yasin, and you could go into sajda and ask your hajat. Most people don't think of Surah Yasin like that because as a koji, I'm brought up to recite only for somebody who has died. It doesn't work like that. Okay, let's start. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Yasin. Yasin is actually, if you look at it, alif, nun, sin. Insan is alif, nun, sin, alif, nun. Can you see that? Na, sa, na. So you got na, and in the middle you've got sin. And sin represents the most perfect human being. So if you can imagine a human being and you wrote alif, nun, sin, alif, nun, then the middle bit is the most balanced human being. And most of the tafasir will tell you that Yasin is the name of the Prophet because he was the most perfect human being. So Yasin, almost perfect human being. Wal Quran al Hakim, I swear by the Quran full of wisdom. Now, just a little bit, and I've tried to make it a bit simple so we understand it. You see, we swear to make somebody understand that we're telling the truth. So we will say, I swear, if you swear on your children, people will believe you a bit more because they know you love your children a lot. But if you say, I swear by this pen, they'll say, yeah, right. The Arabs used to use I swear by to catch somebody's attention. That was, if we want anybody to be quiet, we say, salawat. And suddenly everybody is quiet. In literal sense, the Arabs used to use I swear by that. Now the Quran went a little bit further. I'm going to make it as simple as possible. So it added another dimension to it. It said that the object of the oath serves as a witness to the subject. I repeat again. You've got to let this sink in. The object of the oath serves as a witness to the subject. So here the object is the Quran, and we'll find the subject in a minute. Like, for example, maybe you know wal asr. I swear by the time that is running away. Allah doesn't use waqt, He uses asr, time that is running away. Innal insana lafi khusr. Human beings waste time and don't understand how important time is. So you understand this now. Wal Quran al Hakim, Quran is the object. Now let's see what the subject is. Innaka laminal mursalin. The subject is that you are one of the sent ones. You do not need authentication by anybody else. I, God, am saying that you are one of the sent ones. Who is it saying it to? Yasin. Who is Yasin? The most perfect human being. Who is? The Prophet. Are you with me? Okay. Ala siratim mustaqim, and you are on the path towards your full potential. Now it's just common sense that if I want to reach my full potential, or rather my personal best, I follow somebody who's already on the same path. Okay? All right, great. Tanzil al-Aziz al-Rahim, this has been sent down, or this messenger and this Quran has been sent down by one who is Aziz and Rahim. I'm sorry, I'm going fast. I could take ages on this, but when we do Asma'ul Husna again, we'll go over it. Now, why was the Prophet, why was divine guidance sent? For what? لِتُنذِرَ, so that you may warn قَوْمًا, a people, مَا أُنذِرَ أَبَاهُمْ, whose forefathers were not warned, فَهُمْ غَافِلُونَ, so they were heedless. Now, it's something to think about. Allah is saying, divine guidance is for those who followed a tradition. And their tradition didn't take them to their full potential. Many a times as a koji, I say, Karab lag set le jaunchu, which means somebody will feel bad if I don't go. Right? It's got nothing to do with that. This is talking about divine potential, and we'll talk about it. Now he says, لَقَدْ أَكَّ الْقَوْلُ وَلَا أَكْثَرِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Most people know that divine guidance is true, but they will still not believe. They know what is said in the Quran is right, but they will still not believe. Why? Because إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا فِي عَنَاكِ مَغْلَالًا فَهِيَ إِلَى الْأَذْقَانِ فَهُمْ مُقْمَحُونَ. Because we have placed chains, in other words, they have placed these chains themselves of tradition, of custom, all around their necks. Now, if somebody placed chains around your neck, just imagine for a minute, you can only see one way. You can't even see down because your head is held up. One, it's arrogance. And two, you can't even see what's in front of you. The Quran is in front of me. I have been reciting, I'm 67. I have been reciting it for 67 years with my mother in her stomach, 68 years. Yet, I do not see that this will take me to my full potential. Right? So the chains that I've tied because of tradition, because I have customs, because of what my forefathers said, because people said that, how can you understand Quran? It's only for the ulama. It's not for you. So my arrogance and my customs and my tradition of chains stopped me looking at what was right in front of me. So what did Allah do? وَجَعَلْنَا مِن بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِن خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا. So we placed barriers. In other words, they placed barriers in front of themselves. So even when they saw miracles, they didn't recognize it, and they didn't recognize it from history either. If you talk to them about history, they say, yeah, that happened a long time ago. So they didn't take lessons from history, neither will they take lessons from what is in front of them. So if they saw a beautiful morning and they saw this wonderful rain, they'd say, when it's rahmah from the skies. Right? Okay, thanks. Good. And he says, وَسَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ, it's the same to them. أَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ, whether you warn them or you don't warn them. لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. You could have 1,000 majalis. You and I, how many majalis have we heard over the course of our lives? And we come out and somebody says, what was it like? Yeah, same thing. She read really well, or he read really well. And then what else? That's it. Khalas. Do you know what? We're supposed to be the most organized community in the Shia world. Do you agree? We finish on time. In fact, when we eat, they pick up our plates before we finished. The most organized community in the world. Yet we have not produced one maraji. Have we produced one scholar? Somebody we do taqleed of? No, lots of scholars, yes I know. Lots of zakirin. Look at this. وَسَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ. You tell somebody to go in to learn something, to become a marja, say, he has to be a doctor, a dentist, an accountant, whatever. Okay. So this is saying, you could talk to them as much as you like. لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Okay. You know, we had, I think those of you from Mombasa will know, that we had somebody who recited the same madris 3 times. They now call him Mullah Hat-Trick. Because he recited it 3 times. It was necessary. You don't recite it again and again, nobody's going to understand. But no, we didn't like it. Anyway, إِنَّمَا تُنذِرُ. Who can you warn? So this is a lesson to me and you. إِنَّمَا تُنذِرُ. You can only warn somebody مَنِ اتَّبَعَ الذِّكْرَ. One who follows the Quran. One who follows the reminder. Who follows? One who is familiar with it. So in other words, if I'm going to retranslate this, the only person who will follow is one who is familiar with divine guidance, وَخَشْيَ الرَّحْمَنَ بِالْغَيْبِ, and who doesn't want to upset. When you say fear, it literally means doesn't want to upset God. And it doesn't take God as a name, you take it as a Rahman bil ghaib. So even in the ghaib, even when nobody's watching, they don't want to do anything wrong. For Bashirhu, give them the good news. Bashara is to give somebody a good news. It's like touching someone. Bimaghfiratin wa ajrin kareem, with forgiveness and a massive reward. Why? They are who they say they are. They don't act differently at home and they don't act differently outside. They're exactly outside as they are inside. They're not just polite inside. So there's a wonderful companion of the Prophet called Sa'ad ibn Ma'ad. You heard of him? Yeah. Sa'ad ibn Ma'ad, the Prophet used to say that he is like a bone in the enemy's throat. In fact, when he died, the Prophet was walking on his foot, on his toes, and they said, Ya Rasulullah, why? He said, there's so many angels, I'm scared of stepping on them. He was that sad. But when he buried him and he was covered, the grave was covered, Sa'ad's mother wept. She fell on the grave and she said, Sa'ad, you are in a good place and you've left me here. And the Prophet said, he's going through punishment. And everybody had their hair standing on their ends as such. Said, hello, this is the guy that you said angels came. This is the person that you said was a bone in the enemy's throat. And the Prophet said, he was perfect outside. But when he got home, his family cowered behind the sofa. Not the sofa, huh? They were scared because he used to get so angry. Yeah, he did get sorted, by the way. They forgave him. Okay, but this is the thing about when he talks about فَبَشِّرُوا بِمَغْفِرَةٍ وَأَجْرٍ كَرِيمٍ. They are exactly the same. They're no different. Okay. إنما نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين. We document everything, not only what you do, but its effects as well. It is athar as well. Sometimes we say things we don't understand the the consequences of our actions. But he says, we document absolutely everything you do and everything you say and its consequences. It's all documented. That's why this ayah is phenomenal. Okay. Now, a story. Now, Allah does not mention what town. The Mufassirin have replaced it and said stuff. But if you look at a hadith, it says a completely different story about Antioch. But I will take the Quranic version and I will tell you that most Mufassirin say that this refers to Antioch. And Antioch was maybe if I can say, the Aramaic Christians used to live there. Okay, it was a town in northern Syria, and Prophet Isa sent 2 of his disciples there. John, Jonah, Simon, Peter, name whatever you want. Okay, I don't have names. But the Quran is quiet. Salam, how are you? It's good to see you, okay? So the Quran does not say which town it is. So Allah says, I'm giving you a town where messengers were sent. We don't know which messengers, but I'm telling you what Mufassirin say. Some say this, some say otherwise. إِذَا رَسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ اثْنَيْنِ We sent them 2 messengers. فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا They put them into prison. Because they were an arrogant people. They didn't want to change their ways. Even we find it very difficult to change our ways. Okay, so they didn't want to change their ways. فَأَزَّزْنَا بِثَالِثٍ So when Prophet Isa finds out, according to the hadith, according to the ulama that say this is Antioch, he sends a 3rd person. Whether it was Simon or Peter, or whether it was John and Jonah before, I don't know. فَقَالُوا إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ The 3rd one was quite smart. When he went there, he didn't zealously say, I've come here to make you believe in Islam, believe in one God. No, he tried to get close to the king and talk to him. And he says, Kalu. He says, you know something? This is the people, by the way. He told the king, just listen to these people. So they said, Ma antum illa basharun mithluna. You're not angels. You're just lying. How can you tell us that what we're doing is wrong? I remember a time when carrier bags were free in supermarkets. Do you know that time? Maybe you're a bit old like me, okay? And at that time, people used to take carrier bags to line their dustbins. It's called stealing. It is called stealing. So they said, In antum illa takdhibun, you're changing the way we live. Qalu. They said, Rabbuna ya'lamu inna ilaykum lamursalun. We don't need anybody to tell us that we are messengers. Our Rabb knows we are messengers. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينَ And you know what? We're not have come here to change you. We're just telling you the truth. For us, is only the delivery of the message. Don't kill the messenger. We're just bringing you a message that we're told, okay? قَالُوا So they said, إِنَّا تَتَيَّرْنَا بِكُمْ Now, Arabs this time before always thought that birds were bad luck. Because in the desert, you wouldn't see birds very often. So if you saw a vulture, you knew that somebody had died and that vulture was eating on it. If you saw crows, that's why today even when you see a bird, people still say, if you see a black crow, oh my God, something's going to happen. I'm not going to go into history because I haven't got much time. But anyway, people tend to find birds difficult. The Arabs used to say birds are bad news. And they said, you are bad news. You are changing our economy. You're changing us. If you don't stop, لَإِن تَنْتَهُوا لَنَرْجُمَنَّكُمْ We will stone you. وَلَيَمَسَّنَّكُمْ مِنَّا عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ And we will make you taste a painful punishment. Can you stop talking the way you are? Why? Because the truth hurts. The truth was hurting them. If somebody was telling them that you're cheating, you're doing wrong things, they didn't like it at all. And the messenger says, قَالُوا طَائِرُكُمْ مَعَكُمْ This bad stuff is you. It's within you. It's inside you. أَإِن ذُكِرْتُمْ بَلْ أَنْتُمْ قَوْمٌ مُسْرِفُونَ You're a people who just wastes your time. Remember that surah? You write it here. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ You're wasting your time the way you're living. Now, so you're talking to the elite. You're talking to the main people in, if you can imagine, the city of London, people living in London, and then somebody from far away. And this sort of indicates that this person came from the ghettos. وَجَاءَ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ Ja in Gujarati is to go, in Arabic is to come, to run. So these people run, this man comes, قال يسعى, he's running, قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين Follow these people. His name is Habib, by the way, Habib al-Najjar. He was a carpenter. Some of the hadiths say he had a disease, and therefore he was chucked out of town. And he says, the people you should follow is مَنْ لَا يَسْأَلُكُمْ أَجْرًا وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ Who doesn't ask you for any compensation, and you know they're guided. If you look inside yourself, you'll know they're telling the truth, okay? And he says, I'm telling you. وَمَا لِيَ لَا أَعْبُدُ الَّذِي فَطَرَنِي وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. Why should I not follow the one that created me? When you say created, and you look at ayah number 20, look at this ayah, it basically means one who fashioned me. Why shouldn't I follow one who fashioned me and to whom I will return? And he says, أَتَخِذُ مِن دُونِهِ آلِهَةً. Shall I take another God? إِن يُرِدْنِ Rahman, instead of the Rahman? بِذُرٍّ لَا تُغْنِ عَنِّي شَفَاعَتُهُمْ شَيْئًا وَلَا يُنْقِذُونَ. They're not of any use to me. They can't help me at all. And if I did that, إِنِّي ذَلَّ فِي ذَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. I'm in clear error. And he said, you know what? He tells the messengers, he turns towards them and says, إِنِّي آمَنْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ فَاسْمَعُونَ. I believe in you. Hear me. Hear me out. That's what I'm saying. Now what happens? Those elite don't like it. Nobody likes the truth. And they kill him. They actually kill the guy. Because they feel that this is one of us and he's going against our policies. So they kill him. And immediately he's told, Kila Kulil Jannah. Enter Jannah. But look what he says, Qala. He doesn't say, yes, I made it. I got Jannah. It's mine. You know, he didn't say that. He says, Ya layta qawmi ya'lamuna bima ghafara li rabbi wa ja'alani minal mukramin. I wish my people knew that this is what got me forgiveness and basically what was it? When he talks about being somebody in honor, but he says, I got it because I told the truth. That's all. I stood up and I told the truth and I said, this is the truth. Khalas. I said, his regret was, I wish my people knew. It's a beautiful sentence. And it tells you and me, inshallah, one day, and like I said, I think at the Amals, if you were there, if ever you read it, ayah like this, Qilat Kulil Jannah, which we read every Thursday, and I don't know, whenever you read it, Qilat Kulil Jannah. Allahumma ij'alni minhum. Oh Allah, make me of them. And make me of them who is able to say, Ya layta qawmi ya'lamuna bima ghafara li rabbi wa ja'alani minal mukramin. So, you don't want to go alone. Just for 1 minute, imagine you're in Jannah. Imagine there's no Stanmore. Imagine nobody on your own. You've got everything there, absolutely everything. We'll talk about Jannah in a little while. Everything. But nobody. You on your own, what you going to do? Really? There are lots of other people. But no Stanmorians. It's going to be sad, isn't it? Come on, agree. Thanks. Okay. وما أنزلنا and Allah says وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين. We're not going to send down masses of angels to say, excuse me, can you believe? Can you do this? We're not going to do that. Okay? إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون. There'll only be one shout and it'll be quiet. Now there are 3 trumpets you read in the Quran. The first shout is shout of death. So death, you die. Between death and the first trumpet, you're alive. In the sense, you are aware. And that's why you say barzakh. And you have loads of ahadith will tell you what happens in barzakh, right? Not a good time, all happens in barzakh. Between the first and the second trumpet, when the first trumpet is sounded, everything goes quiet. Everybody dies. So you sleep. In the second one, you wake up for qiyamah. Are you good? Death, first, second. Death and first is barzakh. First and second, you go to sleep. That means no awareness of anything. Second, wake up to qiyamah. Okay, good. And look what he says. Ya hasratan alal ibad. I feel so bad. This is God. This is your and my God saying, وَمَا يَعْتِيهِمْ مِنْ رَسُولٍ إِلَّا كَانُوا بِهِ يَسْتَهْزِئُونَ. Every time I sent a messenger, they laughed at him. Look at history. أَلَمْ يَرَهُمْ كَمَا أَهْلَكْنَا قَبْلَهُم مِّنَ الْقُرُونِ أَنَّهُمْ إِلَيْهِمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ. Do not they see towns from before that were destroyed? And they were all returned to us. وَإِن كُلُّ لَمَّا جَمِيعٌ لَدَيْنَا مُحْضَرُونَ. And you will all be brought back to us. So we're going to go back to the Creator who sees everything. Now he gives signs, lots of signs. And if you've got your building, you will see in section 3, we've put all these signs. The first sign is the earth. وَآيَةُ لَهُمُ الْأَرْضُ الْمَيْتَةَ أَحْيَيْنَاهَا وَأَخْرَجْنَا مِنْهَا حَبًّا فَمِنْهُ يَأْكُلُونَ. If you ever thought that something dead cannot come alive, just look at winter. Look at the dead earth. And then suddenly he'll have tulips in spring. And you say, oh my goodness, that's beautiful. وَجَعَلْنَا فِيهَا جَنَّاتٍ. And the second sign is this beautiful gardens with palm trees and grapevines and lots of, if I can say lots of springs. لِيَأْكُلُوا مِنْ ثَمَرِهِ. You will eat of the fruit. وَمَا عَمِلَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ. أَفَلَا يَشْكُرُونَ. Aren't you thankful? When you pick up a bit of fruit, when you pick up food, don't you say, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin? Why'd you forget? And then he says, Subhanallah, خَلَقَ الْأَزْوَاجَ كُلَّهَا مِمَّا تُنْبِتُ الْأَرْضُ وَمِنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَمِمَّا لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Have you seen how everything is in pairs? There's duality. There's male and female. There's two sides of everything, two sides of every coin, of things that you knew and you don't know either. And then he says, وَآيَةُ لَهُمُ اللَّيْلُ. Look at the night. We strip it out from the day, فَإِذَا هُمْ مُظْلِمُونَ. And then suddenly it's dark again. وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍّ لَهَا. And look at the sun. ذَلِكَ تَقْدِيرُ الْعَزِيزِ الْعَلِيمِ. Have you ever seen it? Can you see our signs? Now, when I say signs, remember those two walls behind this person? The one in front and the one behind. This is the wall. They see all these wonderful signs, but it has no effect at all. None whatsoever. وَالْقَمَرَ قَدَّرْنَاهُ مَنَازِلَ حَتَّى عَادَ كَالْعُرْجُونِ الْقَدِيمِ. Look at the moon, at the different phases of the moon. Look at this life cycle of the human being. A baby right down to being old. It's the same sort of cycle. He says, look at it. Look at all these wonderful things I have done. وَالشَّمْسُ يَنْبَغِي لَهَا أَن تُدْرِكَ الْقَمَرَ وَلَا اللَّيْلُ سَابِقُ النَّهَارِ وَكُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. And he says, look at the orbits. The sun will never overtake the moon. And nor does the night ever outstrip the day. Now I just thought I'd tell you this just to break it up a little bit for you. I'm trying to find the English word for it. But in essence, the English word is known as a palindrome. And the palindrome is, if you look at kullun fi falakin, look at this word, kalafaya falaka. If you write it either way, it's the same words. Can you see? You will find, I think, if I'm not mistaken, rabbaka fakabbir is another one. There's quite a few palindromes in the Quran. So kids love it, right? So you can have a look at them. But Yasin has an amazing thing. Then it says, one of the signs is a ship. Have you ever thought about a ship sailing in the sea? I mean, it's this heavy thing. You just step on the sea and you fall down, don't you? Yet this heavy thing floats. He says, have you ever wondered who makes this ship float? Then he says, وَخَلَقْنَا لَهُمْ. We will make something similar to it, which you will ride upon. He's talking about airships, which weren't even made then. Have you ever thought of an aeroplane in the sky? And just think about it. This heavy thing goes up in the sky. I can't even get a kite to stay up in the sky. Okay. He says we can do that. But if we wanted, وَإِن نَشَأْ نَغْرِقْهُمْ فَلَا صَرِيخَ لَهُمْ وَلَا هُمْ يُنْقَذُونَ. We could just finish it. They would drown, they would fall, and nothing, and no one can help them. إِلَّا رَحْمَةً مِنَّا وَمَتَاعًا إِلَى حِينٍ. Except our rahmah. That's why you and I are told, when you get into a car, when you get into a boat, when you get into anything, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rauf. Keep on reciting, because it's only His rahmah that keeps you there. Okay. Now, these few ayahs are based on free will and predestination. When you tell them, وَإِذَا كِيلَ لَهُمُ اتَّقُوا مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيكُمْ وَمَا خَلْفَكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. Think about what is before you and behind you. Remember the two walls? They come back again. Look at what you are seeing in front of you. In front of you is creation. What is back of you? History. Right? So he's saying, just be conscious of what's in front of you and what you have in history, so you may receive mercy, so you take lessons. وَمَا تَعْتِيهِمْ مِنْ آيَةٍ مِنْ آيَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ إِلَّا كَانُوا عَنْهَا مُعْرِضِينَ. Show them any sign, show them an eclipse, but they will still turn away. And then when they are told, وَإِذَا كِيلَ لَهُمْ أَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ, feed those, spend out of what Allah has given you. قَالَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, those who cover up the truth, لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, say to those who believe, أَنُطْعِمُ مَن لَّوْ يَشَاءُ اللَّهُ أَطْعَمَهُ. Why should we feed those whom Allah does not feed? They are in dalalim ba'id. Dalalim mubin, clear error. When we're told give something, we say, if Allah wanted, He would have given them. No, He gave me, so I've got to spend it. I continually say this, and I will repeat it again. Open your scarf drawer when you get home. How many shades of blue have you got? Really? How many shades of pink have you got? And how many shades of beige have you got? Really? And there are people in the world who are sharing one scarf and one hijab, that means one galabia as such, in a tent, living not very far from us. They share one. If they want to go out, they have to share one. Yet you and I will say, I don't know where to send it. Will you take it for me? No, I won't. Find out for yourself. How many times do we waste? This is what we're talking about. Because we say, if God wanted, he would give them. No, he gave me. And you'll notice the more you have, the more you want to save. It's human beings. And this ayah is directed at us, literally at us. It hurts, but truth always hurts. Okay. وَيَقُولُونَ مَتَى هَذَا الْوَعْدُ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. And then they say, okay, tell us when it's going to happen. All this stuff you're saying is going to happen, when it's going to happen, if it's you're truthful, right? مَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَّا سَيْحَةً وَاحِدَةً. There'll be one single shout, تَأْخُذُهُمْ وَهُمْ يَخِصِّمُونَ. And they will still be disputing about, will this happen or not happen? And that's it, it'll be finished. فَلَا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ تَوْصِيَةً وَلَا إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهِمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. They will not be able to make a will, nor will they be able to say goodbye to their families. That's a lesson for us. If you don't have a will under your pillow, in other words, if you don't have it somewhere where everybody can find it, you are not one of us. That's what the Prophet said, not me. If you haven't written a will, write it now. If you think it's only about money, it's not. You have 5 shades of blue in your hijab, right? Write those down. Where will they go? Write down what you think, what you feel. You got phones now, no? Dictate it. Your children will read it. Tell them how you feel. Do you know what they're going to do? They're going to put it all in a skip, or they'll go and give it to the charity shop. That's what they're going to do. If you don't tell them where to put it, that's what they're going to do. Okay. وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ. When the trumpet will be blown, فَإِذَا هُمْ مِنَ الْأَجْدَاثِ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ يَنْسِلُونَ. They will hurry from their graves. Now, which trumpet is this? Second. You had death, first and second. So now imagine this. When he says they will hurry, yansilun is to hurry down. Imagine they've got out from the, normally we think grave is down and we will come out and walk. This is talking about grave and then you're walking down a slope. You're all going down to a mahshar. If you can imagine a stadium and you're walking down to the main arena. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Kalu, they will say, Ya waylana, man ba'athana min markadina, who woke us up? Now, the word marqad is given for grave sometimes. And the reason why it's given for a grave sometimes is basically, it's saying something of a light sleep. So between the first and second trumpet, it's going to be a little bit of a light sleep. Okay? So you can write it down. I think you've got it there somewhere. Okay. Okay. And then they will say, this is what was promised by God. هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون. إن كانت لها صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون. Sorry, I moved a bit further. فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون. Now on that day, there will be no injustice. You know, you read through the Zilzal. ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره. It could be as little. You might not think people have seen it. You might have picked up that bit of hair as you walk down, and you might think nobody said thank you. It's okay. He knows. He knows exactly. Who was there when Hajra ran from Safa to Marwa? Which news firm was there? Nobody. A black woman, downtrodden slave. Sarah didn't like it very much, so she's left all alone in Makkah, right? Yet, you do not follow the footsteps of Ibrahim. You just look at them and you say, oh, yeah, beautiful. Maqam Ibrahim. Yet, whose footsteps do you follow? Hajra's. Right? So here he's saying, فَالْيَوْمَ لَا تُظْلَمُ نَفْسٌ شَيْئًا. There's nothing. As long as you know he is watching, shouldn't worry at all. I love these ayahs. إِنَّ أَصْحَابَ الْجَنَّةِ الْيَوْمَ فِي شُغَلٍ فَاكِهًا. You're going to be happy. You know, fruit is known as fakihah. You know that, right? Something that makes you happy. Imagine biting into a really sweet, I don't know, what do khojas like? Mangoes, peaches. Something that's really sweet. You bite into it, that's that smile you will have. That's all you're going to do, smile all the time. And them and those who they're aligned with. When you say partners, azwaj is somebody you are aligned with, somebody you're comfortable with, right? I was listening to a podcast today, and it was beautiful because they've come up with this this AI called Emma. Have you heard it? Look it up. I think it's Mokad or whatever his name is. Anyway, so the app is called Emma. And Emma actually gets to know you. And when Emma gets to know you, if you're single, it will try and recommend somebody to you. If you're married or in a relationship, it will tell you what you are doing wrong. Or Emma will try to tell you that. Emma stands for, I'll tell you exactly what it stands for. Expert Manipulative Message Automation. It's actually very good. Have a look, okay? So in the same way, when you're looking at it, it's somebody who is matched to it. And it's a good thing because Emma recognizes the difference between love and relationships. There's a major difference, you know that. You could love somebody to heaven, but like them, oh my goodness, that is something completely different. How many children? Okay, I've got 5, right? Right? Love all of them. You haven't got choice, have you? Look at them and rushes up love. But like, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, okay? It's different. All right, so here, hum wazwajun fi dhilalin ala ra'ayki muttaqiyun. Please look up Emma. Even if you're married, if you're single, whatever you are, get to know her. I don't know whether they've launched it in the UK or not, but on the group, I will put the podcast for you so you can listen to it, okay? لَهُمْ فِيهَا فَاكِهَةٌ وَلَهُمْ مَا يَدَّعُونَ. They will get whatever fruits they want and whatever they wish. They like to be busy, they'll be busy. They like to sit, they will sit. You just imagine your ideal existence. That's what Jannah is talking about. You will have your ideal existence, right? You want somebody to disappear, they'll disappear. You want them to be there, they're going to be there. You want to come to stand more, they'll create it for you. It's AI, literally, okay? All right. And the only thing will be salam, peace. Qawlam min Rabbir Rahim. You know, all of us may have everything, but the thing that we desire most is peace of mind. You want peace of heart. You could have everything in the world. It really doesn't give you peace, except if you're peaceful inside. Okay. By the way, if you feel you're feeling agitated, Ya Salam, it's good to read when we do that. Now, وَامْتَازُ الْيَوْمَ أَيُّهَا الْمُجْرِمُونَ. Those who are guilty, move aside. Who's guilty? Those who have hurt other human beings willfully. Like willfully gone out and hurt them. Move aside. Alam ahad ilaykum ya bani Adam. Didn't I make a promise? Didn't I tell you? Allah ta'budu shaitan. You will not follow shaitan. Innahu lakum aduwwum. Because he was arrogant. He looked down at other people. You don't do that. You hurt somebody because you look down at them because they're hurtable. That's why. Whether it's your children or whether it's your parents or, I don't know, whoever it is. Okay. وَأَنِعْبُدُونِي. Be my abd. هذا صراط مستقيم. That's the only way you will reach your full potential. In other words, learn the Asma al-Husna and live them. وَلَقَدْ أَضَلَّ مِنْكُمْ جِبِلًّا كَثِيرًا. He led so many of you astray. أَفَلَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْقِلُونَ. Did you not understand? And you will listen in this podcast how this guy is really saying that dating apps, you know today you have dating apps, right? I'm sorry, I'm talking about the podcast because it's quite relevant to this. He says dating apps want you to fail, so you subscribe again to them. They want you to fail. They want you to have a tough time, not find. So when they match you up, they don't match you up to the right people because they want you to come back again and again and again. It's all about money. Restaurants don't want your dates to go well because they want you to come back again and again and again. Read it. It really makes sense. So he says the same thing. He will lead you astray. Okay. هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون. This is the agitation. This is the fire you were promised because you hurt so many people for your own selfish gains. إِصْلَوْهَا الْيَوْمَ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْفُرُونَ. You will burn in it because you covered up the truth. When the truth was necessary, you didn't give it. الْيَوْمَ نَخْتِمُ عَلَىٰ. You will not be able to make excuses because الْيَوْمَ نَخْتِمُ عَلَىٰ أَفْوَاهِهِمْ. Your mouth will be sealed. وَتُكَلِّمُنَا أَيْدِيهِمْ. Your hands will talk. وَتَشْهَدُ أَرْجُلُهُمْ. And your feet will be witness بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. What you earned. And you know, وَلَوْ نَشَاءُ طَمَسْنَا. If we had wanted to, عَلَىٰ أَعْيُنِهِمْ فَاسْتَبَقُوا الصِّرَاطَ فَعَنَّا يُبْصِرُونَ. We would have taken your basarat away. Now, this basarat is not talking about eyes, as your eyes taken out. I know you've got somebody covering their eyes, but it's talking about the perception of the heart. We could have taken it away, but we gave you free will. وَلَوْ نَشَاءُ. And if we had wished, لَمَسَخْنَاهُمْ وَلَا مَكَانَتِهِمْ فَمَا اسْتَطَاعُوا مُضِيًّا وَلَا يَرْجِعُونَ. We would have transformed you completely, but we gave you free will so that you know who you are. Haven't you looked that those who are older, who get older in age, we reverse them in creation? You know how you're old, you need to be fed, looked after when you're young. When you get older, go back to the same thing. Don't you have any akal? Don't you think? Now, most people at that time, and even today, think that it's good to listen to a good recitation. You know, sometimes when somebody recites dua in Quran beautifully, we say, I wish he would recite all the time. He says, we did not teach you poetry. This Quran is not just for beautiful recitations. Yes, recited beautifully. But that's not what it was there for. Only liyundhir, it was there. Now listen to this very carefully. Liyundhira man kana hayyan. It was to warn those who were alive. وَيَهِكَّ الْقَوْلُ وَلَا الْكَافِرِينَ. So it was proved true against those who covered up the truth. And we recite it only for the dead. Yet here it says it is for liyundhira man kana hayyan. I'm not saying this, Quran is saying that. So if you say, I'm reciting Yasin for my, I don't know, whoever your marhum or marhuma was, yes, they will get the thawabs. But they get the thawabs because you learned from it and changed yourself. Okay, we're nearly there. Did you not see those cattle that we have made? We subdued those cattle for you. Otherwise, the cattle would have killed you. Have you seen those bullfights in Spain? Yeah, we could have done that, but we didn't. We subdued them. Some you ride, and some you eat. You get so many benefits from them. You drink milk from them as well. Are you not thankful? Even then you take gods other than me, and you think that you will be helped. Not only will they not help you, they will stand up on the day of Qiyamah and they will say, we are against you. Now the Prophet is told, and you and I are told, don't get upset. We know what they hide, and we know what they make apparent. Did you not see how you were created? Min nutfa, from this small seed as such. And now you stand up and you go against me. Have you seen children? You fed them, you dressed them, and then they see you say, you don't know what you're talking about, Mom. You looked after them, you raised them, and you say, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I taught you how to think independently. Right? Hopefully you say that. Okay. Right. So here it says, then you stand up and you say, and this, we do that to God as well. Somebody came to the Prophet, took a bone, crushed it, and said, Ya Rasulullah, this will come alive. And that this ayah was revealed. You know, you coin a likeness to us, and you say, who will give this life? Bone, or give this bone life. We will make you like we started with you right in the beginning. Have you not seen a green tree? We got fire from it from you. He created the heavens and the earth from nothing. Don't you think he can create you from nothing as well? And then the most beautiful ayah, إِنَّمَا أَمْرُهُ إِذَا أَرَادَ شَيْءٍ. When he, you know, you got to get this right, okay? So, irada is a wish. Is not that strong. Shay'a is a thing, a definite thing. He doesn't even have to think about shay. He says even if he just thinks of a thing, أَن يَقُولَ لَهُ كُن فَيَكُن. It is done. And there's a beautiful, beautiful poem written that says, get so close to me, I'll try and translate it in English, get so close to me and be so much like me that even when God wishes to do something for you, he doesn't. He asks you first, what do you want? So you can have kun fayakun as well, okay? فَسُبْحَانَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ مَلَكُوتُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. Subhan is, I don't like glory. Declare the perfection of he in whose hands there is the kingdom, and to him you will be returned. It's probably one of the most beautiful surahs of the Quran. Recite it every day, not only on Thursday, not only for those who have died, but those who are alive as well. Okay. Inshallah, you will go through it. I know I went really fast through it. I will see you in 2 weeks' time, inshallah, and we'll continue with where we left off. Have you any idea where we left off? I'm hoping you've actually gone through all your surahs and know where we finished. Okay, go back through your books so you know where we are. If I'm not mistaken, we finished at 22, which was Hajj. Is that right? So we're going to go through 23, okay? And because Ramadan is coming near, I know we've done Ankabut, Room and Dukan. Somewhere near there, we will do Ankabut, Room and Dukan. Again, just as a revision. Are you good with that, right? Okay. Great. So can we end with the Surah Al-Fatiha? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim. Waladdallin. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. I'll try and put as much information I can on your WhatsApp group, right? So I'll put everything I can as far as Surah Yasin is concerned, and I'll probably do a blog next week from Makkah and Medina, and that will be on QF updates. So if you're not on there, ask for Zana, she'll give you the link, and I can put that on. And if you want anything or you want me to take